जय ओम विश्वपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत शिष्यमत His Divine Grace of Charana Bhakti Vedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. ISKCON Deputy Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Om Vishwabad Paramhamsa Parivrajaka Ashtottara Shata Shishimat. His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिधर की जय। ब्रज वृंदावन धाम की जय। नदिमा प्रधान की, गंगा माई की, जमुना माई की, भक्ति देवी की, तुलसी महारानी की, समावेद भक्तवृंद की जय। Nitai Gaur Premanande, all glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled devotees, glorious assembled, glorious to say Shri Guru and Shri Gaura. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 18 and text number 58. 59 also, because it tells us something very important message. Text number 58, 59, and maybe we can take 60 also. But it is very important to understand. This is all about Krishna consciousness, that we have to become perfect by adopting Krishna consciousness. Okay? So I'll read and then you respond. Machitta Sarva Urgani Mat Prasadat Tarishyase Atha Chit Tvam Ahankarat Na Swasyasi Vinakshasi Machita Sarva Mat Prasadat Tarishyase Atha Chetvam Ahankaram Srosyasi Vinangshasi Machitah Sarvadurgani Mat Prasadat Tarishyase Atha Chetvam Ahankaran Srosyasi Vinangshasi Machitah Sarvadurgani Prasadat Tarishyase Atha Chetvam Ahankaran Srosyasi Vinangshasi Mat of me. Chitta, being conscious. Sarva, all Durgani, impediments. Prasada, by my mercy, Sarishyasi, he will overcome. Atha, but Chit, if, Tvam, you, Ahankarat, by false ego, not Shrusyasi, do not hear, Vinakshasi, you will be lost. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. A person in full Krishna consciousness is not unduly anxious about executing the duties of his existence. The foolish cannot understand this great freedom from all anxiety. For one who acts in Krishna consciousness, Lord Krishna becomes the most intimate friend. He always looks after his friend's comfort and he gives himself to his friend who is so devotedly engaged in working 24 hours a day to please the Lord. Therefore, no one should be carried away by the false ego of the bodily concept of life. One should not falsely think himself independent of the laws of material nature or free to act. He is already under strict material laws, but as soon as he acts in Krishna consciousness, he is liberated, free from the material perplexities. One should note very carefully that one who is not active in Krishna consciousness is losing himself in the material whirlpool, in the ocean of birth and death. No conditioned soul actually knows what is to be done and what is not to be done. But a person who acts in Krishna consciousness is free to act because everything is prompted by Krishna from within and confirmed by the spiritual master. This additional slokas 59 and 60 are also in the same context. So I'll just read. Ahankaram asritya no yotsya iti manyase mityesha vyavasayaste prakrutistvam niyokshasi. If you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed by your nature and you will have to be engaged in warfare, compulsory. You can't run away. Arjun was a military man and born of the nature of Kshatriya, therefore his natural duty was to fight. But due to false ego, he was fearing that by killing his teacher, grandfather, and friends who would incur sinful reactions, actually he was considering himself the master of his action, and if he were directing the good and bad results of such work. He forgot that the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present there, instructing him to fight. That is the forgetfulness of the conditioned soul. The Supreme Personality of Godhead gives direction as to what is good and what is bad, and one simply has to act in Krishna consciousness to attain the perfection of life. No one can ascertain his destiny as Supreme Lord can. Therefore, the best course is to take direction from the Supreme Lord and act. No one should neglect the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or the order of the spiritual master, who is the representative of God. One should act unhesitatingly to execute the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that will keep one safe under all circumstances. Why? He says, Swabhavajena kaunteya nibaddha svena karmana kartum nechasi yanmohat karishyatya avashopiya. Swabhavajena, born of your own nature, kaunte, O son of Kuti, nibaddha, condition, svena, by your own karmana, activities, kartam, to do, not ichhasi, you like, yet that which mohat, by illusion, karishyasi, you will do, avashaha, involuntarily, api, even that under the illusion, you are now declining to act according to my direction, but compelled by the work born of your own nature, you will act all the same. O son of Kunti, if one refuses to act under the direction of the Supreme Lord, then he is compelled to act by the modes in which his Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sadhana Lalita Sri Vishaka Vitamsha Sri Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dhanabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindaveshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarvyasya Kripasinu Vedesha Pakitana Bhavunibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namah Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauramani Prachadine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Dada Shivanga Deva Toranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. So Arjun was told everything about Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna is driving him whether he understood and is ready to do according to what Krishna has said. Whatever the response could be, it indicates whether Arjun understood Bhagavad Gita or not. After reading so many times Bhagavad Gita, if we do not come to this conclusion and will not be ready to do according to Krishna's direction, no excuses. Oh, Krishna didn't tell me Bhagavad Gita. I just read it. If Krishna tells and you read it, what Krishna tells, what's the difference? There is no difference. But if somebody objects, then his ignorance is becoming predominant and it indicates the false ego. False ego is putting us into great difficulty. False ego is putting us into the great difficulty. We do not behave like a normal person. Those who are egoistic, false ego is the worst of enemy that he carries himself within himself. If we lose the discriminating agency of intelligence, then we'll try to fan the false ego. And mind is covered by false ego, will compel you to do what is forbidden. Right? And that begins the downfall of mankind. He cannot elevate himself. So, Arjun, did you listen carefully? Did you understand what I'm saying? Are you ready to execute whatever I have said to you? Huh? Krishna is going to ask the question. By giving him liberty to say, now do as you like. Do as you like. It's not a force. Because Krishna loves. He would have forced us and made zombies to act like robots. No. From the very beginning, Krishna gave us an individuality, even though difficult. One is an individual, part and parcel, qualitatively one with Krishna, but quantitative difference. And the false ego, which was developed by envy, is subtly, carried on. That Krishna is revealing all the secrets, but people still keep on envy with him. They don't want to surrender to Krishna. They will claim, they will argue, become atheistic, rationalist, or whatever. It's not that Krishna is threatening. Krishna is warning. Warning and threatening is two different things. So misuse minute independence comes there. And we pave our own destiny. Krishna cannot help. He already helped. Nobody can say, oh, Krishna, now you help me. No, you didn't listen to me. Correct? And when the discipline is there, Arjun became his student, Chela. And he has to retain the discipline. Otherwise, what is the glory of learning anything? But Krishna wants to check him. If you go by your material modes and stick to denying Krishna, even though you may be knowing what are the contents of Bhagavad Gita, but avoiding him and wants to think, oh, just fulfill the material desire is the best of the life to your heart content. I don't believe in God. It means ahankar is there. Ahankar is uh, born out of ignorance and tamogun. So people become agnostic. At the same time, they want to equate everything with the material rational. But Krishna is not a material form, right? So we need to understand that is Krishna cruel by giving this kind of threat? Or if you do not do, then you will be finished. Vinakshati. Srosyas, no srosyasi vinakshati. If you do not listen, right? For 700 slokas, which consume at least 1.5 hour quick reading, that was happening in front of the war, and the war was supposed to start, but it was delayed by 1.5 hour because Krishna was explaining. War did not go. All right? And Arjun was completely confused. At such a emergency time, that conscience have been blown by both the parties. They are ready. They already, took their weapons in the hand. They wanted Krishna, okay, start. Then and then the war would start. But here Krishna was engaged for 1.5 hour delay. Our flight was took a little prasad also. So what can I do? Point is that the delay is important as last minute ditch effort. Instead of running away from the battlefield, which is born out of ignorance, it does not befit Arjun because his natural proclivity is to defend, fight. He will be forced to fight. So, I will not take up my pause, whatever happens to me. And Krishna said, foolish. So, people are against Lord Krishna's desire, and that is the real all-down situation. That is the falling point. Minute independence and misuse of it means you can't stay. You break the not the laws, but the serenity of the absolute. You don't stay there. So ichha dvesha samukhena dvanda mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sargayanti param. Who doesn't have policy here? But what is true ego then? Alternative. Carry true ego means carry the identity of your originality. What is the originality identity? That you are soul, part and parcel of the Supreme. Right? So, engage in that activity that keeps you intact in that relationship of being part and parcel. Don't become isolated with the whole. All right? People do not listen. They understand, yeah, why Hare Krishnas are telling us to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. It's a long 16 syllable word. Oh my God, it consumes my valuable time. Or Krishna, be merciful. I will chant a little bit. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I'll chant. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. I will chant something. Mumbo jumbo, mumbo jumbo. Huh? If he analyzes his situation in this material world, which is very competitive, he is sunk into the ocean of faults. He is sunk in the ocean of faults. Kali Yoga is not a good time. Don't make friendship with Kali. He's not a gentleman. He will corrupt you. And yet you want to keep your ego high? Our true ego is daso, not brahmasmi. If somebody says, brahmasmi, I am Brahma, Baba, you are not Parabrahman. So why do you use that? Das. Gopi Bhartuhu, Padakamalayo, Dasa Dasan, Dasa. I'm servant of the servant of Lord Shri Krishna. That is the true ego, because it's an eternal position. It's not a temporary one. Do you want a permanent job or moonlighting? People do moonlighting even in the religion. Even it is so clearly said. So, even in mild way, if we say, Prabhu, your ahankar cannot be sustained in front of the reality. Better you smash it by yourself or argue with somebody and he will smash you. Get it smashed. I will this and I'm that. Baba, you are nobody. In the school they teach you, always think you are somebody. No, we are nobody. And what is your sign? 3.5 feet?
How tall are you?
But the soul size, the true size, is if you take your tip of the hair and divide into 1/10,000, that small tip, that is the size of the soul. And the soul says, oh no, I don't want to learn about Krishna. I don't want to chant. I want to chant palmy songs. Huh? Oh. Ahankara. What is the gain if you chant something useless? But Krishna says, if you chant my holy name, the gain is permanent. You'll be able to reach to me, but falsely thinking that you are not my part and parcel, you do not have to listen to me, then you will be finished. Oh, oh Krishna, don't become angry. Don't become angry. Krishna can become angry, right? To whom?
Atheists. Demons.
Krishna became angry to whom? To
Demons.
Mama comes, Bakasur, all the demons he killed. He smashed them, their false ego, and finished them. And then Krishna is very powerful. Right? So, Uh, Krishna even smashed the false ego of Indra. He's a demigod. He thinks he's the god of rain. And who is this child disrupting, my share? Instead of giving to me, he brainwashed all his parents and uncles to give it to Govardhan. And showered such heavy rain that they will beg my forgiveness. What happened? Krishna lifted Giriraja Dharanagi.
Jai.
He lifted Govardhan Hill on his pinky for 7 days to smash the ego. So, if you want to become devotee cannot have false ego. They should not keep false ego. They should not become envious of somebody. No, for no reason. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. But in Kali Yuga, because even after knowing so many things, if we say by habit or by mistake or by accident, if we criticize because we have false ego, then what can be done? Krishna smashed even Durvasa Muni's false ego. Amrish Maharaj was very humble, pure devotee. Sudarshan Chakra was chasing after Durvasa Muni, and not even his father, Shivji, or Brahma, or Vishnu could save him. What did he do? Durvasa Muni. Bade bache. What did Durvasa Muni do?
Offended Amrish Mala.
Huh?
He offended Amrish Mala.
Yeah, but what did he do? He came, cried at the feet of Amrish Maharaj so piteously that there was nobody in the whole 3 worlds could save him except the mercy of the devotee who he offended. This is the only gravest offense because of false ego. Can't criticize any devotee who has dedicated his life for propagating the holy name. Can't criticize. So, and they also get finished. So best thing is to beg forgiveness, crying. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu, Haridas Thakur, and everybody was engaged in preaching the holy name. Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu went to the 2 drunkards, Jagai and Madhai. They were Brahman by birth, but they spoiled their life by doing all the sinful activities. And they were so much envious of anybody who takes the holy name of Lord Krishna. They would run after them and beat them up. So Nityanand Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, 2 company, they went to that. Seeing the devotee at their doorstep, they became completely enraged without any provocation. And they started blasting, both of them. I said, we just beg you to chant Gauranga's name once. Huh? There are many Jagai Maharaj in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
They have destroyed ISKCON temple, just yesterday. So the point is that this false ego is striking. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu, and those who are the followers of them, they also become so benevolent. They will have to go through all inconveniences and restore the mercy of the Lord. That's why we chant Panchatattva mantra. After Guru Pranam, we chant Jai Shri Krishna
Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Chant Hare Krishna. Because this Panchatattva are very, very kind and benevolent. They will absorb all the mistakes and due to our false ego we are doing. Therefore we have to chant. Because knowingly or unknowingly, our previous habit can come in between and spoil the devotional service. So just chanting their names, which are very, very benevolent, because they are imbued in the love of Krishna. And they were distributing that love without any reservation. All right? So they took risk. Anyway, it's very important that this false ego, ahankara, we can't afford ahankara. Arjuna is told before even that prakritiya kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankaram vimudhatma kartaram iti manyate. All the activities are done by Prakriti through the three modes of material nature of Sattvagun, Rajagun, and Tamagun. Prakriti is doing. What is your willful act? Now, you are taking the aid of Prakriti and you claim that you are doer. You are the doer, but you are not the doer. Prakriti is the doer. Prakriti compels you to dance according to her modes and material nature. If your feet and hands are tightly bound by rope, and you want to dance, would you be able to dance? What will happen? Oh. So similarly, when we are bound by the tight ropes of more of goodness, passion, and ignorance, they will certainly follow, make us fall down. Even goodness can make us fall down. You know the story of Jada Bharat? Bharat Maharaj? India is called Bharat. All right? From this king's name. All right? He had 99 brothers, but he was the leader because he knew the course of religion. So he was conducting all the affairs of his kingdom nicely. Brothers were also following. So he divided the kingdom between the brothers and he wanted to retire. So he went to an ashram, and sat down and was meditating. One time, while he was meditating, a big roar of lion came. At the same time, there was one deer. The deer was pregnant, and she got scared and jumped in the nearby river, which is having very fast flow in the water. So it was very precarious. Bharat Maharaj's meditation broke and he immediately got up. He couldn't see the lion, but he saw that deer, which was pregnant. She gave the birth to a baby deer in the water, and she was carried away. But Bharat Maharaj, jumped in the river to save that baby deer. All right. Deer lost its mother, but then Bharat Maharaj has to start working. Instead of meditating on the Supreme Lord, he was gradually becoming attached to the deer. And Bharat Maharaj could not meditate, you know. And association of the deer, because deer was very dependent upon Bharat. So Bharat died thinking of deer, that deer. And he became a deer. Whatever you think at the time of quitting the body, you will get the same body. So Bharat became deer, but he did not forget that he was caught up in the mess. Okay? Even good work is not good. It can trap us to save a deer, but it is not called a spiritual activity. It is not concerned with Krishna. So in this way we see Bharat Maharaj became deer in the next life, but he did not forget Krishna and said, I will tolerate all the inconveniences I have to go in the deer's life, but I want to come back to the position of meditation again on the spirit. So he became again a human being, a son of a Brahman. Okay? But at that time, he decided, I want to remain dumb and deaf. I don't want to listen anything, neither I want to speak anything about the material world. So he's called Jada Bharat. Jada means imbecile. So that's a big story. And in the form of Jada Bharat, he taught that king called Rahugan the lesson of this so-called attachment that puts us into great jeopardy. The fifth canto, story of Janparas. I give classes on that for and Wellington itself. But the point is that the whatever one thinks at the time of quitting the body, certainly those thoughts are captured by the mind, and the false ego carries. Mana, buddhi, and ahankar goes with the subtle part. That makes subtle part. So in this way, we miss the point in the life. So ahankar is very bad, even for good people. Even for good people. So anybody has any question or comments? Yes, Vedant.
Why did the man, why did the man wanted to leave the material body?
Why the man wants to leave the material body?
Man receives the material body because he thinks that way. He doesn't think about Krishna. If you think about Krishna, you will never have material body. Because we think against Krishna, then we get this material body of what is it made up of? Blood, pus, urine, stool. Huh?
Skin.
Right? It's nasty bodies. But you have a beautiful body inside. If you dig out uh, by thinking, you know, Krishna will reveal your beautiful. Is beautiful. Krishna's part and parcel, a tiny Krishna, is also very beautiful, isn't it? So, material body is stinking mess. However, you can decorate, but it is nothing but nasty things. Things that you eat in the plate is not nasty, but once it goes in the body, it becomes nasty, yucky stuff. Right? So that is not our real body. Our real body is hidden in the hips of earth, fire, air, ether, and water. Okay, suppose my body is burned to ashes, all the water that will evaporate, right? Then most of it is carbon, so it will smoke will go away. Uh, so water is gone, carbon is gone, all right? And then very little stuff is remaining, you know. This body can make about 8 pencils worth of carbon that you have, 8 pencils only. Okay. About 12 nails, iron in the blood is there is iron. So you can make 10 nails. Then a little phosphorus that can ignite and make a firecracker, 2, 3 firecrackers something. That much phosphorus is there. And then calcium and all the other earthly elements are. Do you know what is the value of that much when it turns into ashes? 212 rupees. It's nothing. But you are more valuable alive. Is it not? Huh? But when you see your true self, then you should take all the books and she will be okay. Nice stories and so we have to understand where is our value lying? Not in the body, but the spirit that keeps the body alive. What do you say? Now you are going to uni, huh? Yesterday I met 3 girls, they attended the class. One was doing research in biomedical for research. I said, what? Oh, we have here also one devotee is doing biomedical research. कहाँ गए प्रभु जी? Biomedical research, right? Right. I was a biomedical research too.
And the animal research.
Huh?
Animal research.
Animal research. Animal research.
Animal research is biological research, Papa. Huh?
He's doing behavior. Animal behavior research.
Behavior. No. Human behavior is worse than the animal behavior. You know, it is too easy to study the innocent animals, you know. The point is that somehow or other the value system is not there. The highest potential of the human being is finding out its own roots. Who is he? Uh, These are religious questions. Sanatan Goswami met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and asked him, Kayami, who am I? Why am I suffering threefold miseries? Heat, cold, huh? Threefold. Adhyatmic, adi, bhautik, and adi. Miseries are there every time. And we want to escape miseries. Arjun wanted to escape the miseries. That he doesn't want to take part in fighting because he will become the instrument of miseries for his relative. So he doesn't understand the real nature of the body. So animal behavior also, you will find in mode of goodness behavior, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Right? Those are tamed animals, they behave in mode of goodness, but you can't trust them. In South India, they train elephants to worship the Supreme Lord. But sometimes they have to be very careful. If you bring 2 elephants or 3 elephants, they start fighting between them, and everybody has to run away. Anyway, the behavior of advanced devotees, the great rishis, how do they behave? That is the real research. Anybody can change the behavior. Somewhere.
Gurumaharaj just said Prakriti Kriyamanani Gune Karmani Sarasa. In that, when a person did anything bad, we will scold that person because
No. Prakriti has the aid of mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Now, these are powerful modes, but they exert their impression on a particular body. So the person by his activity, can identify which mode he is. Guna karma vibhagashaha, guna karma. So, guna is coming as an endowment from the Prakriti, and karma, the gunas impel him to do particular type of services. So, it is not his choice. Okay? If you are in predominant mode of passion, then you want to show your passionate nature in every subject matter. You'll be an educator like an Australian. You are a foodie guy, uh, you can eat like Chinese. Anything that crawls can be eaten. Such passionate nature, but ignorance is also there. So, Prakriti is impelling him to do according to the rule. And the rules have been set by Krishna. Prakriti is only the medium doing the thankless task. How to come out from the clutches of the three modes of material nature. Chant Hare Krishna and you will come out. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. He came all the way from Wellington to ask me question. No, you just mentioned.
Correct me, Gurumaharaj. You just mentioned Prakriti impels person to do action. Is it we like the person will use the mode? For example, if I am in mode of ignorance, will I invoke the mode of ignorance in Prakriti, or Prakriti forces me to choose?
That is the worst type of ego in ignorance. You think you are compelled to do by somebody. You don't want to do, then you have a job to restrain. Thought the influence of outside, who tells you to do behave like that? Because it doesn't give good results. So you should refrain. Even though if you are born in the mode of passion and ignorance, then you have to take care. By imbibing Krishna consciousness, you will be in the transcendental mode, which is superior than mode of goodness. So for the sake of pleasure of Guru and Krishna, your attention is to behave properly. You are under the order of the Guru to make such a drastic improvement in your life that will be conducive to Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, you will keep on blaming. Oh, I was born in this nakshatra and I'm bound to do it. Are Baba, animals are also born in different nakshatras. What is the difference between you and animal? Are you simply a Homo sapiens? Biology. You are not only Homo sapiens. You are a human being. You came as a descendant of Manu and Shatarupa. So follow Manu Samhita. That becomes the human behavior. What is expected?
My question is, How do we know if it's being guided by our own nature or if we're being guided by the nature of Krishna, by Krishna?
In previous ages, more of goodness was prevalent in Satya Yuga. Okay, so people were born of very pious and benevolent nature. And the other two ages, more of Rajogun means passion was more predominant, and they have to show up by their strength, wealth, and everything, the passionate nature. That was the standard. And there was a mixed mode in Dwapar Yuga, more of passion and ignorance was combined. But in Kali Yuga only, majority is more of ignorance because it's a destructive age. So the more of ignorance will be more prevalent in this age. So even though human nature, we have been endowed with Rajo Adhika Karma Para. We have been endowed with an additional Rajogun means that makes us hyperactive. Right? So we are workaholic. But the work results, we want the results. So there we go, bound up. As the material nature compels us to work and we think we are the doer. All right? We have right to work, but did we have ever a right on the results of the work? We never had. But yet, everybody wants the result. Thinking in complete denial, there is a supreme arrangement. They don't understand the supreme, so why? How come they will ever see him? Our eyes are not capable to see even what is behind this wall. Our eyes can see only reflected light. Straight light, no, it will blind you. Can you stagger at the sun all the time with your open eye? Hardly half a minute you might be able to see. But then you have to close. Oh, then everything is dark, right? So much our senses are limited. So therefore, don't expect perfection through the senses. We can commit mistake. We can prone to big illusions and rely. Who said he has never lied in his life? Raise their hand.
He's lying now.
I bet you. Where is your mom? I have not killed. But mom, papa will be there. Can explore. Now, to cheat is a propensity of the defect of false ego. They are too honest. Are you sure? Check it up, check it up.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. In a world full of competition and a fast-paced life, so we are always in a rush. And how can we overcome this ignorance that is created by either the conscious minds or unconscious mind? Like every time I'm in a rush. So I forget everything just for the sake of the material world because I need to fulfill what my family needs. So I'm constantly forgetting or ignoring the things that I was supposed to be doing. So
Mm.
what would be the way to come back?
Okay. It is said that this material world is an opposite and reflection of the spiritual world. So, how much trust can you put on the reflection? Reflection is called pratibimb. That is complete opposite. The original is called bimb. All right. So if you read 15th chapter, which is describing the whole material world as an upside down banyan tree, which the roots up and branches and leaves are downward. And it is so profuse that once you enter in, it's difficult to come out. But by development of knowledge and detachment, you can cut the labyrinth and can come out. People do not know the art of detachment, but that is the real stuff. It has been told to make your life successful. Married life, cross the line. If there is no element of detachment from the head of the household, you know, the other members can remain attached. It doesn't say, but the head of the household, they should show the detachment. Don't get entangled. Otherwise, such entanglement will sweep away your energy. Art of living is cultivation of the knowledge of the absolute with the detachment from the material world. Now, this is not like Tyag. Rupa Goswami gave the formula. Anasaktasya vishaya yatha arham upayunjata. Nirbandhe Krishna sambandhe yukta vairagyam uchyate. Everything is in connection with Krishna because everything is a product of Krishna's energy. There is nothing which is not claimed because he created the material world for our benefit, not material benefit, but by cultivation we can go back home. Otherwise, this jail is not for a gentleman. Do you consider you are in a jail? Don't consider us as jail. Uh, Jail is not a place for gentlemen. Prabhupada said, if you are a gentleman, start making a means to get out from this material world. But you don't have to die. You have to get liberated from the clutches of the material world and engage 100% in service of Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guruji.
And जोर से बोलो.
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Yeah.
My question is, we have left our home country and we have come so far. We have left our
Patal Loka.
parents are in India and they're getting old day by day, which troubles us because
That's all right.
Family goes to cooking.
Yeah, the family attachment, obligations, this and that. Then,
So what should we do? Like, are we running away from her to take care of them?
animals also take care of their family. They have also that society. Huh? They have also required attachment to the king. Huh? Prabhupada said about attachment. Haribo, in my room there is Haribo, there is a paper that you have stuck on my room about the family life and this one. Get it? I'll read what Srila Prabhupada says. It's a very profound answer, okay? Aha. Listen very careful. Everybody should cultivate detachment. Okay? As for detachment from children, wife, and home, it is not meant that one should have no feelings for this. They are natural objects of affection. But when they are not favorable to spiritual progress, then one should not be attached to them. The best process for making the home pleasant is Krishna consciousness. If one is in full Krishna consciousness, he can make his home very happy. Because this process of Krishna consciousness is very easy. One need only chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama. Accept remnants of good stuff offered to Krishna. Have some discussion on books like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavata and engage oneself in deity worship. These things will make one happy. One should train the members of his family in this way. The family members can sit down morning and evening and chant together Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. If one can mold his life, family life in this way to develop Krishna consciousness, following these four principles, then there is no need to change from family life to renounced life. But if it is not congenial, not favorable for spiritual advancement, then family life should be abundant. One must sacrifice everything to realize to serve Krishna, just as Arjun did. Arjun did not want to kill his family members, but when he understood that these family members were impediments his Krishna realization, he accepted the instruction of Krishna and fought and killed them. In all cases, one should be detached from the happiness and distress of family life. Because in this world, no one can be fully happy or fully miserable. So, what is ignorance? If I can maintain everybody or extend myself because I have come to foreign country and probably I'll be able to provide them. But you are neglecting your prime duty. In the ideal household of life, okay, the family is working under Krishna's direction through the help of Guru. Begetting children is not a crime, but you are inviting them. So the topmost obligation for being father or a mother is to liberate them from the clutches of Maya. You are responsible. So if you are a matru, Or if somebody is a Pitru, to Putra, all the relations are Putrana. Tra means liberation. It is the duty of the parents to liberate their children from the clutches of Maya. And if the parents fail, it becomes the obligation of the children to liberate the parents. There's a mutual. But for both of them, ultimate aim is if we don't do, then our human life is spoiled. Our human life is spoiled. Maybe, we might have to confront, but if you have realized knowledge of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, your entire demeanor is so compassionate to everybody, then never mind. My dear father, you didn't have this kind of understanding at that time. Fine. But as a son, it is my duty to show that spiritual compassion on all the miseries that you have suffered for us. Right? Otherwise, we have obligations. You are talking of obligation. But look at this. Devarshi bhutat nranam pitrunam nayam kinkaracha narpatim trajan sarvatmanaya sharanam sharanyam gato mukundam parirakrityam. We are obliged to devas who are managing our life, our activities to keep the body alive. The devatas are responsible. You simply eat. But Krishna says, I'm entering as the fire of digestion called Vaishvana and digest 4 kinds of foods. You do not digest. Why do we have to eat crap and tell Krishna, can you digest my chicken? But that's the ignorance. We think we have no obligation. We are obliged to devas, rishis who are giving directions. Pitrus, we are obligated. But all these obligations, even government obligations, paying taxes is also obligated tax. We are obliged because we consume the resources of nature. But those who are surrendered to the Supreme Lord, there is no obligation. If you put your taxes, your services, and the government, then all your taxes will be reached to all different departments automatically. They have started GST after long stupidity of harassing people. One tax is enough. Why did GST start? Pay one and everyone will be taken care. So the whole concept of obligation that Krishna allowed us so many lifetimes. We know Punarjan, reincarnation. Even within this body, if it is reaches to 100 or 98 years, it will reincarnate 14 times. And every 7 year, animal husbandry, every 7 year, our cells are regenerated. All the cells of the body will be replaced by regeneration. So, old cells are dying, new cells are, it means 14 times we are reincarnating within this body. You see, the changes are so subtle. Anybody is a 7-year-old, he must have reincarnated. How old are you? 11. Oh my God, tiny boy. You should eat Mahaprasad. A lot of, okay?
Guru Maharaj,
Huh?
he changed all his family, Guru Maharaj. He started coming classes,
That's
and then he went home and said that today I'm not going to eat anything, only prasadam. And
good.
their parents also changed.
Good. Oh, good. So like that. The most important is that the body is simply vasansi jiranani yatha vihaya navani granati narupanani. Just like the old clothes are torn and you change it to the new one, the body is also getting torn and changing. Tatha dehantar prapti tirastatra namuyati. Right? It's understood. Good, good shows.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, you gave me this instruction 5 years before, Guru Maharaj. 5 years before,
I can.
at COVID time. So I really liked it. I'm meditating on it every time.
Okay, I'm revisiting it.
One last question.
Okay.
I don't know.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
My question is, sometimes we tend to do some services which we are not willing to because the devotee has asked, but at the end, they try to blaspheme us in the behind. So how when we get to know those things, so how can we again maintain a kind of a good relation with the devotees?
Does it hurt your soul? Does it hurt your soul? Then forget it. It's easy. All right. Don't worry, we have to understand, get educated very nicely. But if somebody is doing with ahankar, then let them, get the result. Why should you get? Right?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada ki.
His Holiness Suggestion Swami Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. It was a very, very, very nice and inside class. And, how you feel? We're all waiting here in Palmerston Lab. We told that Guru Maharaj is coming, so you can ask some questions and have internal talk with Guru Maharaj. So Guru Maharaj will be here for some more time.
Eat so much prasadam that you do not have any question.
So please come and talk to Guru Maharaj. And then now Guru Maharaj will distribute this piece. Thank you very much. Guru Maharaj has come all the way for us and from deep of your heart, chant 3 times for Hare Krishna Mahamantra of Guru Maharaj from your deep heart is love. Hare Krishna. I never take.
Oh, you Gurumaharaj. Cake is for you. Not for you.